Hey Peter, this is James from the OTI coaching team. Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at your serve, and what we'll do first is we'll take a look in regular speed at maybe 2 or 3, and then we'll slow it down and we'll take a closer look. So let's see here in regular speed. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Okay, and one more. Okay, so let's slow this down and let's take a closer look. First thing, I can see you have more of that continental grip, which is great. The index, knuckle and heel pad is resting on bevel 2, so there's no changes to be made there. Now the next thing you're going to see is you do an excellent job on the mechanics, the thrower motion. What you're going to see here is the tip of the racket starts off pointing to the right side, palm and strings are pointing slightly down towards the ground. From here you move the racket relatively right to left over your head, as you can see right there. This looks good. Now the racket falls down and away from your body, getting what we call a power loop. And the racket drop you get into is relatively good. What you're going to see here, the tip of the racket is somewhere here. Now you could definitely get the racket somewhere around hip level, and the racket more aligned on the right side of the body. By doing this, you're going to put the muscles around the shoulder on pre-stretch more, and that's going to result in a lot more effortless power. So that's one of the things I want you to work on, but let's talk about the main thing that you have to work on first, and that is regarding the ball toss. What you're going to see right here is you have a tendency to toss the ball too far to the right. And what this means is you have to adjust your swing in order to match that ball. So there's an inconsistency in the ball toss, and you're going to see it on a few of these serves here. You're going to see on this one especially the ball goes way out to the right. And now you have to adjust your swing in order to match the ball. You are leading with the edge of the racket. This all looks excellent. You're doing a very good job on the mechanics. The tossing arm is also tucked into the body. But the main thing is the ball toss consistency. So that's going to be the main focus point. And you may be asking yourself now, what is causing the inconsistency? So let's trace the motion back and let's take a closer look at the tossing mechanics. And the first thing that stands out is you have a bend in the tossing arm, as you can see right here. Now this is something we want to avoid, since by having the bend in the tossing arm, it makes it much easier for you to activate the possible moving joints, which are the elbow and the wrist. So if we follow it from here, what you're going to see is as you release the ball, you straighten the arm. So as you can see, you're moving this elbow joint right here. And by straightening the arm at the release point, it makes it very difficult for you to develop any consistency on that ball toss, since it's pretty much going to be different every time. Now another thing you're going to see here is as you release the ball and straighten the arm, see how the tossing arm stops right there. So there's a quite abrupt stop in the tossing arm, which also results in a lot of inconsistencies on the ball toss. So you may be asking yourself now, what should it look like instead? Instead, what I want you to focus on here, Peter, is having more of a straight tossing arm, number one. So you have a straight tossing arm, and the tossing arm will be in a lower position down here. And now with this straight tossing arm, all I want you to focus on is lifting the arm as a unit from the shoulder. When you lift the arm as a unit from the shoulder, you will then maintain that straight tossing arm structure, lifting from the shoulder. You will then release the ball at approximately eye level, and then after you've released the ball, I want you to continue to lift the arm into a high finish position somewhere up here. So the tossing arm starts off down here. From there you lift the tossing arm up from as a unit from the shoulder, maintaining the straight tossing arm. You release the ball at approximately eye level and continue to lift from the shoulder until you reach this high finish position. And this whole motion is a very smooth motion, and you want to avoid any abrupt stops in the motion like so, and also any bends in the tossing arm. So yeah, that's going to be the main focus point over the coming weeks. And then by having that straight tossing on and releasing the ball at eye level, it's going to result in a contact point that looks a little bit more like this. Currently, you're going to see you do have a straight hitting arm, which is good, but the racket is directly above the hand, so you're contacting the ball way out to the right side, as you can see now. But by making the adjustment in the ball toss, it's going to look a little bit more like this. The tossing arm is going to be straight, but then the racket is going to come on the inside of the hand, and you'll be contacting the ball approximately above the right hitting shoulder. And by doing this, you complete what we call the power triangle, which is a much stronger position for your wrist to be in, and then it also makes it a lot easier for you to internally rotate the shoulder to where the palm and strings point out towards the right side. So to give you a better understanding on this, Peter, you can go beneath this analysis to take a look at the linked videos. And by making this adjustment to the ball toss and the tosser mechanics, it's going to give you more of a consistent ball toss placement, which will then allow you to execute your mechanics more efficiently on the serve. It's going to give you more power, more consistency, and overall really help your serve. So just real quick, when you are working on this, I recommend you go through the progressive system. There's a full module on that in the course. Basically, this means in the beginning, when you're working on the ball toss, work on it in isolation. So you don't hit the ball in the beginning, you simply focus on the tosser mechanics that you're working on. And then once they become somewhat natural, then you can start to hit some balls. But even when you do that, make sure you start in the half-court position and you serve down the line. You can watch video 6 in the progressive system for more info on that. And yeah, if you have any questions on this, Peter, please let me know, and I look forward to seeing the progress you make over the coming weeks.